Hi students, this is P. Venkateswarlu, Junior Lecturer in Physics, APR Junior College, Thatpudi. In this class, I would like to teach the reflection of light. In the previous lesson, we discussed about reflection of light on plane mirror and spherical mirrors like concave mirror and convex mirror. So what is refraction? Suppose if you are observing that when a pen or a pencil is dipped in a glass container filled with water, what happens? The pencil is slightly bent at the separation of the water level. Why the pencil is bending at the separation of water level? And the second example, suppose if a coin is kept inside the glass container filled with water. While we observing the position of the coin, it slightly appears to be rise from its original position. Why the coin appears to be rises from its original position? So these are because of when light travels from air medium called rarer medium into the water which is called denser medium. So at the separation of two, the light is slightly bending. So the bending of light at the separation of two media is called refraction. So that can be observed like this. Let us say this is air medium which is called rarer medium. So this is air which is called rarer medium. So this is denser medium. Let us say glass. So this is the separation of two media. So this is glass. So when light travels, so PQ is the light ray. So when light travels from one medium to the another medium, in the case of when a pencil is completely dipped into glass container filled with water, at the separation of two media, so XY is the separation of the two media, that is rarer and denser medium. Then the ray which is passing into the denser medium is slightly bending in its original path. So how the light is deviated from its original path when it travels from one medium to the another medium is also called the phenomena of refraction. So we can define refraction when light travels from one medium to another medium, it is bending at the separation of two media is called refraction. How we can write the definition of refraction? Simply we can write the bending of light at the separation of two media when it travels from one medium to another medium. So this phenomenon is called refraction. So here we are observing that when light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, let us say glass, then there is a change in the path of the light. That change in the path of the light is also called refraction. So the bending of light at the separation of two media when it travels from one medium to another medium is called refraction. Or the change in the direction of path of light. Direction of path of light when it travels from one medium to another medium. One medium to another medium is also called refraction. Why the light ray changes its path or bending at the separation of two media? It is because of there is a change in the velocity of light. The velocity of light in rarer medium is greater than the velocity of light in denser medium. So because of change in the velocity of light, when it travels from one medium to the another medium, the light is slightly bending at the separation of the given two media. That is called refraction. And coming to what are the laws of refraction? So the first law is nothing but we can observe in the figure. We consider the two mediums. One is rarer medium, which is represented one of refractive index, let us say N1. Another one is denser medium, which is represented by 2 having refractive index N2. Suppose if light passes from rarer medium to the denser medium, how the bending of light takes place? In the converse, when light travels from denser to rarer medium, there also the bending of light takes place. Here, the refracted ray is bending towards the normal or away from the normal. So the two conditions should be observed. The first case is when light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, it is always bending towards the normal. So this is N dash is the normal drawn perpendicular to the separation of two media. We know that what is the angle of incidence? PQ is the incident ray and it makes an angle I with the normal N dash. Then we can say that PQ is incident ray and it is bending and passing into the denser medium. That makes an angle R, which is represented as QR. So QR is called refracted ray. QR is called refracted ray. So incident ray PQ and QR is refracted ray. What is the angle of incidence? Angle made by the incident ray with the normal is called angle of incidence, represented by I. And the angle made by the refracted ray QR with the normal N dash is called angle of diffraction. So I is angle of incidence. R is angle of refraction. Then we are observing the first case. The first case is when light travels from rarer medium to denser medium. It is always bending towards the normal. So it is always bending towards the normal. While increasing the value of I means angle of incidence, the angle of refraction is gradually decreases. That means I is always greater than in the case of the light that travels from rarer medium to the denser medium. First one. So light travels from rarer to denser. What happens? It bends towards normal. That is, what happens? the value of I is greater than R. What is deviation angle? How much amount of angle or the path that the refracted ray deviated from its initial path. In the absence of this transparent material, the light ray travels in a straight path according to the recliner property. So what is the deviation angle? The angle between the incident ray and the refracted ray QR is called deviation angle. So this is represented by delta. So how we can measure the value of delta? Delta plus R is equal to I. So these are opposite alternating angles. So the sum of the two is equal to I. Then we can write I is equal to R plus delta. Implies delta is equal to I minus R, where I is greater than R. So when the light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, the refracted always moving towards the normal or bending towards the normal. And the second case, when light travels from denser to rarer medium. That means we can observe that this can be taken as rarer medium. So let us say, draw another diagram. So this is denser medium, this is normal, and this is rarer medium. When light travels from, so this is incident ray makes an angle theta, and this is refracted ray, and this is R. Okay. So this is the refracted ray angle R. See, in the second case, when light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, the refracted ray is always away from the normal. That means when the angle of incidence is gradually increases, then the ray is gradually away from the normal. That means the angle of refraction is always greater than the angle of incidence. In that situation, we can write angle of refraction is greater than angle of incidence. Then what is the deviation angle? Again, so it is moving in the straight path in the absence of the separation of two media, means in the absence of denser media. Then we can write that this is nothing but delta. Therefore, delta is equal to R minus I, where R is greater than I. So, angle of deviation is equal to R minus I. So, these are the two conditions observed in the refraction pattern. When light travels from rarer to denser and denser to rarer, all the refracted rays moves away from the normal. So, these two cases. And the third case means normal incidence. Normal incidence, that is when I is equal to 0. Normal incidence means these two are obliquely incident on the separation of two media. Let us say this is a glass. Here we can observe the incident ray, that is PQ, is parallel to the normal. So this ray becomes like this. So this is incident ray. And the refracted ray is also parallel to the normal. So this is N and dash. So that the incident ray is moves in a straight path into the denser medium. Then that type of incidence is called normal incidence. Normal incidence means the angle of incidence with the normal is equal to 0. Now what about the angle of refraction? This is also equal to 0. Why? Because the refracted ray and the normal R lies on the same line. Then we can say that R is equal to 0. So these are the three types of propagation of light waves from one medium to the another and normal incidence. So basing on the three we can explain what are the laws of refraction. The first law is coming to the laws of reflection. So what are the laws of refraction? Here we are observing that PQ is the incident ray and QR is refracted ray in the denser medium. I is the angle of incidence, R is the angle of refraction. The first law is the incident ray and the normal to the separation of two media at the point of incidence and the refracted ray QR all lie in the same plane, just like the first law of reflection. So what is the first law? The incident ray. So we can write the first law, the incident ray normal to the separation of two media and the refracted ray, the incident ray normal to the separation of two media, normal to the separation of two media at the point of incidence. At the point of incidence and the refracted ray all lie in the same plane. All lie in the same plane. So we observe in the diagram, PQ is the incident ray, N dash is the normal to the separation of two media XY at the point of incidence, and the refracted ray QR are lie in the same plane. Same plane means whether it is the plane of incidence or the plane of refraction. So the three rays are always lies in the plane of incidence or plane of refraction. This is the first law of refraction. Coming to the second law. So what is the second law of refraction? Here we are observing that the refractive index of rarer medium is N1. Refractive index of denser medium is N2. So the second law states that the sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction for a given two media for a given wavelength of light is always constant. If we select two media for a particular wavelength of light, the sine angle of incidence to the sine angle of refraction is always constant. So that constant is called refractive index of the second medium with respect to first medium. So this is the important law in the refraction. So what is the second law? Sine angle of incidence to the sine angle of refraction for a given two media for a given wavelength of light is always constant. That constant is represented by refractive index. So we can write the second one. So the ratio of sine angle of incidence to the sine angle of refraction, sine angle of refraction for a given two media is always constant. So this is second law of refraction. The ratio of sine angle of incidence to the sine angle of the refraction for a given two media is always constant. So mathematically it can be written as sine angle of incidence means sin I in the rarer medium. Sine angle of refraction means in the denser medium. that is sin r is always constant. So this constant can be written as mu 1 to 2. Means the light ray propagates from medium 1 to medium 2, from rarer to denser. So this can be written as, in otherwise, so we can write. So this can be written mu r. You can also use the n12. So in some books the notation is n. In some books the refractive index is represented by a. Then we can take mu 1 to 2 is equal to sin I by sin r. Then this can be written as mu 1 to 2 is equal to mu 2 by mu 1, that is equal to sin I by sin r. From this also you can write, so mu 2 sin r is equal to mu 1 sin I. So what is mu 2? Refractive index of second medium. So r is the angle of refraction in the same medium. So the product of refractive index of the medium and sine angle of refraction is equal to the refractive index of the rarer medium, and sine angle of incidence is always constant. So we can write mu sine r is constant, or mu 2 sine r is equal to mu 1 sine I. So this is called the second law of refraction. Okay. So mu 1 to 2 is equal to mu 2 by mu 1 sin I by sin r. So this is also called refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. With respect to medium 1. So the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 can be written as mu 1 to 2 mu 2 by mu 1 sin I by sin r. So basing on that, we can observing that what is absolute refractive index of a given medium. Absolute refractive index means the ratio of the velocity of light in air to the velocity of light in the given medium is called absolute refractive index of the given medium. How we can define absolute refractive index? So we can write absolute refractive index. Absolute refractive index of the medium. So this is represented mu. So absolute refractive index can be defined as the ratio of velocity of light. The ratio of velocity of light in the air or vacuum to the velocity of light. Velocity of light in the medium is called absolute refractive index. Is called absolute refractive index of the given medium. So that can be represented like this. Mu is equal to c by v, where c is velocity of light in air by velocity of light in medium. So this is the formula used to solve the simple applications which are based on the velocity of light in air and the velocity of light in medium. So by using this equation we can modify the relative refractive index of one medium with respect to another medium. How we can modify? Here we observe that, let us say the speed of light in the first medium is taken as v1. Let us say it is not a rarer medium. So if the speed of light in the first medium is v1 and the speed of light in the second medium is v2, then we can compare the speed of light with respect to their refractive indices by using this formula. So what is the refractive index of the first medium? That can be represented like this. So mu1 is equal to C by V1, and we can write absolute refractive index of second medium. Mu2 is equal to C by V2. So mu2, mu1 are substituted in this equation. Then we can write mu2 means we can write, so mu1 to 2 is equal to, so this is mu2 by mu1. mu2 means C by V2 by C by V1. Here we can write. So this is mu2 by V1. So mu2 is equal to C by V2 by C by V1. So cancel C, this becomes V1 by V2. Okay, so refractive index, when light travels from one medium to another medium, whose speed of light respectively V1, V2, then refractive index mu is equal to V2 by V1, that is equal to V1 by V2, that is equal to sin I by sin R. So this is the important relation between refractive indices, angle of incidence, angle of refraction, and speed of light in the given two media and their refractive indices. So mu1 to 2 is equal to mu2 by mu1, v1 by v2, sin I by sin R. By using this formula, we can solve the simple problems. So this is the refraction, laws of refraction. So this is the second law. Based on that, we can define what is relation between angle of incidence and angle of reflection. This is also called Snell's law. So this is also called Snell's law. Snell's law means sine angle of incidence to the sine angle of refraction for a given two media is always constant. That is mu1 to 2 is equal to sin I by sin R. So this is the laws of refraction. Clear? Okay. So basing on that, we can do a simple example. Find the refractive index of glass with respect to water. Given refractive index of glass is equal to 3 by 2 and refractive index of water is equal to 4 by 3. So we know the relative refractive index of one medium with respect to another. So that is, when light travels from 1 to 2, this is mu2 by mu1. So light is traveled from 1 to 2. Here we can calculate. So this is the relative refractive index of second medium with respect to first one. So this is mu2 by mu1. Similarly, we can observe in here, find the refractive index of glass with respect to water. So when light is travels from glass to water, so we can write, this can be written as mu. Light is traveled from glass to water. Then relative refractive index of glass with respect to water. So this is W and this is glass. Okay. Relative refractive index of glass. So find the refractive index of glass with respect to water. So this is 1 and 2. So this becomes mu G by mu water. Clear? the relative refractive index of second medium with respect to first is refractive index of second medium by refractive index of first medium. Here also we can observe the same concept. So refractive index of glass with respect to water. So this is 2. So mu2 by mu1. So this becomes, what is the value of mu g? That is equal to 3 by 2 by 4 by 3. So mu wg is equal to 3 by 2 multiplied 3 by 4. That is equal to 9 by 8. So 9 by 8 is the refractive index of glass with respect to water. Like this we can solve the simple problems which are related with each other depending upon the refractive index. Okay. Next, what is principle of reversibility? So what is principle of reversibility? Principle of reversibility means when a light suffers number of refractions after the light travels the same refracted path and refracted along the instant path. Such type of retraces the path of refracted ray along the path of incident light is called principle of reversibility. So that can be observed like this. So coming to the what is principle of reversibility. Here we are observing that, so this is N. So this is N dash normal. When light travels from one medium to the another medium, angle of incidence. Let us say this is rarer and this is denser. So we know that when light travels from rarer to denser, it is bending towards the normal. Bending towards the normal. That makes an angle of refraction R. Suppose if you kept a mirror in the path of the reflected light, if you kept a plane mirror in the path of the refracted light, what happens? The light is again refracted or retraces the path along the same direction, and after refraction it takes place along the incident ray path. So that reverse tracing of the path of refracted ray after refraction, it moves along the incident path is called as principle of reversibility. Principle of reversibility. So this is refracted ray QR after refraction, because this is actual separation of media. So while it strikes on the plane surface, gets reflected and move in the same path and strikes at the separation of two media and gets refracted from denser to rarer and moves along the path of incident ray. So the retrace of the refracted ray after refraction, it moves along the path of incident ray is called principle of reversibility. So why we use what is the use of principle of reversibility? We can observe the use of principle of reversibility. First we can observe rarer medium is taken as A and denser is taken as medium B. Then according to definition of refractive index, we can write when light travels from A to B, this becomes according to Snell's law sin I by sin R. So according to principle of reversibility, when light travels from denser to rarer, which is moving along the path of the incident light, then we can apply the second one. When light travels from denser to rarer, we can write what is the angle of incidence here? That is nothing but R. So we can write sin R by sin I. When it is retrace the path from denser to rarer along the direction of the incident ray. Simply we can multiply the two. So mu AB multiply mu BA is equal to sin I by sin R multiplying sin R by sin I. So cancel sin I and sin R sin I. We get mu A to B is equal to 1 by mu B to A. So this is called principle of reversibility. That means when light ray travels from one medium to another medium, the refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium is equal to the reciprocal of refractive index of the first medium with respect to the second medium. So this is the refractive index of first medium with respect to the second medium. This is the refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium. So these are reciprocal to each other. So that is called principle of reversibility. Means mu A to B is equal to 1 by mu B to A. Let's explain what is total internal reflection and critical angle. What are the important applications of total internal reflection? Total internal reflection means, suppose if we are observing that the first condition is the light must be always travels from denser medium to the rarer medium. Then only we define the phenomenon of total internal reflection. Later we define what is critical angle. Here we are observing that there is an object Y is kept in the denser medium, let us say water. Then when the light rays coming from the object which are travel from denser to rarer medium, that is air. Here we are observing that OA is the incident ray which is moving from denser to rarer in the normal incidence direction. That means already we explained. Normal incidence means here the angle of incidence I is equal to 0 and angle of refraction is also equal to 0. So OA is the normal incidence from the point object O in the denser medium. It is refracted in the straight direction as AL. So AL is the refracted ray whose angle of refraction is equal to R. Coming to the first point. Suppose if the light ray OA1 is incident on the normal with an angle of incidence I is equal to I1. So when light ray travels from denser to rarer, definitely it aways from the normal. So the refracted ray A1 B1 is away from the normal, that makes an angle of refraction R1. And similarly another ray coming from the object that makes an angle of incidence I2 at the normal, which is taken as OA2, the incident ray. And it is away from the normal, that makes an angle of value R2, which is greater than R1. Why? Because when the angle of incidence is gradually increases, then the angle of refraction is also gradually increases. Means R2 is greater than R1, where A2BT is the refracted ray in the second case. And the third one is when the angle of incidence from the ray coming from object at the normal I is equal to C, then the refracted ray bases the separation of the two media XY. XY is the separation of the two media. When the angle of incidence coming from the object which is OA3 is equal to C, then the refracted ray A3B3 should be equal to 90. So the angle of incidence in the denser medium, for which the angle of refraction in rarer medium is equal to 90. That angle of incidence in the denser medium is called critical angle. So what is critical angle? When the light travels from denser to rarer, the angle of incidence in the denser medium, for which the angle of refraction is equal to 90. That angle of incidence is called critical angle. Okay. How we can define critical angle? So we can write critical angle critical angle means the angle of incidence for which the angle of refraction in the rarer medium, the angle of incidence for which the angle of refraction in the rarer medium is equal to 90 when light travels from denser medium to rarer medium is called critical angle. Okay, so the angle of incidence in the denser medium for which the angle of refraction in the rarer medium is equal to 90 when light travels from denser medium to rarer medium is called angle of critical angle. Here we can write the angle of incidence in the denser medium is C in denser medium. So for this angle of incidence in the denser medium, what is the angle of refraction? So R is equal to 90 in rarer medium. Yes, this angle of incidence in the denser medium is called critical angle. So the angle of incidence in rarer medium, in denser medium, the angle of incidence in denser medium for which the angle of refraction in the rarer medium is equal to 90. Then we can calculate the refractive index of the second medium with respect to first one. Here the light travels from denser medium to rarer medium. So this is denser, this is rarer. So we can write mu B to R, mu denser to rarer means A, that is equal to sin. What is the value of sin I? Sin I means, so this is sin I by sin R, where I is equal to C, R is equal to 90. So we can write mu denser to air is equal to sin C by sin 90, that is equal to sin C, where sin 90 is equal to 1. Then we can write mu denser to air is equal to sin C. But according to principle of reversibility, refractive index of denser medium with respect to rarer medium can be written as, so mu air to denser is equal to 1 by mu denser to air, that is equal to 1 by sin C from the principle of reversibility. So from the principle of reversibility. So from the principle of reversibility, so mu 2 to 1 is equal to 1 by mu 1 to 2. So this is the the principle of reversibility. Similarly, we can apply the refractive index of denser medium with respect to rarer medium. So this is denser. So this is rarer means air medium. So in general, we can write refractive index 1 to 2 is equal to 1 by sin C. This is the relation between refractive index and critical angle. Critical angle is nothing but C. So I is equal to C, R is equal to 90, then C is called critical angle. So mu 1 to 2 is equal to 1 by sin C. So light travels from 1 to 2, 1 by sin C is equal to refractive index. And coming to the total internal reflection. What is total internal reflection? Here we observe in the last diagram. If the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle of the denser medium, then instead of refraction, it can be reflected in the same medium. Here we are observing when I is equal to C, the refracted ray is gracious. Gracious means it is along the separation of the two media, where R is equal to 90. But when the angle of incidence in the denser medium is greater than critical angle, then it gets reflected in the same medium instead of refraction in the rarer medium. That phenomenon is called total internal reflection. So what is total internal reflection? When light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, if the angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, it gets reflected in the same medium instead of refraction. This phenomena is called total internal reflection. Clear? So this is the definition of critical angle and total internal reflection. Here we are observing that the light ray is again reflected in the same medium. So there is no loss of energy, there is no change in the velocity of light. Hence, the total internal reflection is widely used in the telecommunication networks like optical fibers. Optical fibers are working on the principle of total internal reflection. So whatever the information is given at one end is completely 100% is carried without any loss of energy or information to long distances. So the first important application is optical fiber. So optical fiber works on the principle of total internal reflection. It is carry the information without loss of any energy through longer distances. And the second one is the brilliance of diamond and species stones. When we observing the diamond is brilliance, it appears to be very bright. That is because of the phenomenon of total internal reflection. So the brilliance of diamond and precious stones is observed according to the phenomenon of total internal reflection. And the third important application, the formation of mirage. That means it is an optical illusion which is observed on the blacktop roads during summer due to high temperature. That is called pool of water. So the optical illusion which is observed on the blacktop roads and deserts due to high temperature, which is called mirage. So mirage is also a best example for total internal reflection. So these are some important application of total internal reflection. So how we can define the total internal reflection? So we can write the definition of total internal reflection. So total internal reflection. So in order to observe the total reflection, the two conditions should be obeyed. First one is light travels from denser to rarer medium. The second one is angle of incidence is greater than critical angle. Critical angle, that is I greater than C. Then we define the definition of critical and total internal reflection.